Hey, what's going on, guys? Charging my phone right now. I want to do some heavy Bible studying today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Just get my life in order. The subject of this video, before I initiate Bible study, I just want to make one more video. I saw this little clip because, like, on my feed, there's a mixture of like religious content and secular content. So I just took a little peek. For the rest of the day, I'm just want to read my Bible. This is my routine, guys. Well, I want to make it a routine every day for the rest of my life. That doesn't sound like I'm going to stick to it, but I am, and I'm adamant that I will stick to it. But I'm gonna just tell you what I have. I have my Bible study book, have my 14 pamphlets. I have a Bible book called What is Time? What Time is Purple? I have the New Testament. I have Corinthians, another booklet from the Bible. I have another Bible I got from church. Two pamphlets about repentance. I have one about being saved. I have an Adventist magazine. I have my Catholic Bible, my Action Bible. I found a pamphlet from church. I'm going to go over the 10 Commandments. I'm going to take like 5 sins from the list of sins, a PDF, what else? The 7 deadly sins. I'm going to listen to a sermon from my old church. I want to listen to a sermon from Stephen Anderson. I may listen to the Israelites for a little bit. I'm not an Israelite. And that's pretty much it. That should conclude my day. And I want to start making religion, as much as I talked about in the last video, I talked about consuming wickedness is just as bad as doing it. So I want to do what I can to make my days saturated with the goodness of God, His Word, and learning about His Son. But I happen to see this little clip. So Penn State is under some controversy once again, and it doesn't concern pedophile assistant coaches like Jerry Sandusky. This time, there's a drug ring at the school. I think there's like 7 people that are facing misdemeanor drug charges. And this may upset some people, I don't know. But do you think if you are a productive member of society, should you go to jail? Should you get a slap on the wrist? Or should you face charges like everybody else? So, yes, drugs do destroy lives. But here's the thing. I only have a problem with drugs when they destroy communities. Because everybody, in their own way, they use something to get them by. I'm using religion right now. I'm using religion. We can't do it alone. Everybody has something they use for assistance. We can't get through life alone. Like, some of us can get through life without people, but we need things or deities to get us through life. Some people use alcohol. Some people use meth. Some people use crack. Some people use cocaine. Some people use marijuana. Some people use religion. Some people use prescription pills. It's a lot of things people use. Now, I would only assume that if it is a drug ring at a college, they are selling drugs to other students. And those students that are using drugs to get their work done, maybe juggle work and another job. I don't know, like Penn State. Because I've said this before, college, in a lot of cases, if you're not over 30, college is just one big vacation for 4 years. You don't actually really do a lot of learning in school. They're all, because I when I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, and I was on Temple University's campus, and I haven't stepped foot in North Philly in a long time since I left that church. I saw these uh these Beavis and Butthead type students. They were inside of a little cart that they used to, I guess you use the cart to throw like laundry in, like it wasn't a hamper, but it was like a little cart, I guess, where you throw like basketballs in. They were rolling down the cart. One was on a skateboard recording, and I'm just like, yeah, that's $30,000 right down the drain. I don't know if that's how much they pay, and that's ridiculous, but that's a lot. That's your parents' money going right down the drain. What are you learning? What are you utilizing your how are you utilizing your time on what you learn to get ready for your career? They're not. They're not learning anything. I mean, they're learning, but they're spending more time on what bong to smoke out of, what beer should I drink underage, you know, what cigarette should I smoke, you know, what drug should I put inside this girl's drink so I can take her back to my room and do all kinds of disgusting things. That's what they're worried about. They're not worried about, you know, what what how much time should I put inside this test that's on Thursday, or you know, is this paper that I gotta type, is it, does it look good enough to get an A? They don't care about those things. But I would assume that the college, they are the students that are accused of selling drugs, they're selling drugs to students that are trying to just juggle work and school. I would assume some of them work. Some of them go to school. Some of them have a lot of things on their plate. They're trying to get ready for their career. Just like how Will was about to take speed on that episode where he was offered pills because he had a hard time juggling, you know, basketball and his job and school. That's why people use drugs. Now, the people that just use them because they want to party, you know, that's what I classify as like an addict. They're just addicted to feelings. But some people are productive. Like, you have productive drug addicts, you have productive junkies. But I'm gonna just want to say this. Their drug dealing does not disseminate to other colleges, other neighborhoods. Like, them selling drugs doesn't disseminate to, I'm just naming some colleges in Pennsylvania. It doesn't go to Lincoln University. It doesn't go to Millersville University. That's where Dr. Umar graduated from, or Bryn Mawr, an all-girls school. You know, them selling drugs, they're not having like shootouts on the campus because this crew is making more money than that crew. So I'm a little biased whenever they're productive members, because it's more of, hey, I don't want this affecting my life. That's when I have a problem with drugs the most, because I really don't care what other people do to their bodies. Did that light just come on? Wait, I don't know how that light just came on. Wait, hold up. I don't know why I just did that, but I don't really care what people do with their bodies. It's just I care when it starts affecting me, because I'm not gonna reach everybody on Earth. I can't convince everybody to live a certain way. But yeah, it is a problem when it starts to affect me. So since it didn't really affect the whole state or the whole city, I say that they should just get maybe community service, a slap on the wrist, maybe take some classes on the dangers of selling drugs, so it doesn't elevate to them being like street dealers. But There is a big difference between them selling drugs and people that sell drugs in poor, underprivileged communities, because it affects everybody. And then this whole conversation of, well, are pharmaceutical companies, are they drug dealers? Well, once again, they're selling garbage, they're selling crap, but I wish I didn't just say that word, but they're selling garbage. But guess what? Their garbage does not affect other companies. Like, there, I never heard of CVS getting in a shootout with Walgreens, or the owner of CVS is being kidnapped until he pays like a $500,000 ransom to another company. You get my point. What I'm saying. I'm only have a problem with drugs when they affect me. I don't care what people do with themselves. Just know the dangers of what you're getting into. Understand the risks, and try not to make it a lifestyle. But personally, me, I would stay away from drugs at all costs, at least now. But yeah, there's a difference between pharmaceutical companies, college kids selling drugs, and street dealers. Because street dealers usually affect the whole community because their violence spreads all over the neighborhood. Tell me if I'm wrong.